Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tatum Temia. I'm the host of the Blessed and Bossed Up podcast and the CEO of Anchor Media. So in today's video, we're going to talk about my 4 a.m. morning routine. I know some of y'all gulped when I said 4 a.m. So here's how it started. I think I mentioned in another video how God really has had me in this training season. And so what he told me was I couldn't work until midnight. So even in my book, I talk about time saving zones. And so these are things that you can pull time from if you need a little bit more time to get things done. And so my time steal zone always comes from sleep. And so I was like, okay, God, I got you. But there's a lot that needs to get done in the business, and not just like things I feel like need to be done, but like things I need to get done so my team can have what they need to do, what they got to do as well. And so I was like, okay, God, well, what if I just wake up early? Because if I'm spending my whole morning with God, before that I'm asleep, right? So I'm like, okay, God, what if I just wake up super early and then do a few like the heavy lifting things, and then, you know, I'll do my usual business tasks around like maybe 12, like you said, and we'll spend the whole morning. So I got the okay for that. So that's what started the 4 a.m.s. Because at first I was doing like maybe 5, and I'm an early bird anyway. And it's not hard for me to wake up early. If I don't have an alarm, I'll still be up at maybe like 7:30. So I'm not the type that's gonna sleep till noon or anything like that. If the sun is up, I'm up. Because I just feel weird being asleep. I feel unproductive being asleep if the sun is still up. It just don't feel right. And I've always been like that. Even as a child, I'm up. What's for breakfast? And everybody's still asleep. Like, I've always been a morning person. And so I decided to wake up at 4 a.m. because sometimes I work out with my trainer. We work out Wednesdays and Thursdays at like 7:30. So I had to wake up earlier than 5 because like 2 hours is cool, but like also I have more to do. And so I started waking up at 4. It was definitely an adjustment. One time my husband got up with me because I think I woke him up as I was getting up, and he was like, well, I'm about to just get up and work up too. I guess he was motivated. So he was like, I'm about to get up and work too. When I tell you by maybe 8, he was like, I am exhausted. He was like, how in the world do you do this? Because I didn't take a nap. Like, I'll be up at 4, I work, start getting my household together around like 8. So if we go into like what the 4 a.m. look like, I wake up at 4. I usually go downstairs and make some coffee. I try to read things on my phone. So one of the ways, if I am really tired, I like to wake my mind up, because if I start waking my mind up, then I'm going to be up. I'm not going to be able to sleep anyway. So I start maybe reading emails because I know that I'm about to start working. Not responding to any, because who knows what that response is going to look like that early. But I start reading emails or whatever just to wake my mind up. So then I'm up, I'm like, okay, my brain is awake. I make some coffee, I sit down, and I start working. Quiet. Don't have no music on or anything like that, but I open my computer and I just get to work. If I'm not going to the gym, then around like 8, I start getting things together. So my nanny comes at 8:30. So at 8, I start making breakfast for my son. I put all his food together and things so she can access it easily during the day. Maybe straighten up the playroom a little bit and just get the household in order. My husband does the routine where he wakes our son up and gets him dressed and things like that. So I more so just make sure that his day is prepared to make things a little bit easier for him and for our nanny. So then at 8:30, when she gets there, then I'm off work and I am off household duty. So at that point, that's when I usually will spend time with God outside, because at that point I've been up for hours in the house. If I sit down and open the Bible, I'm probably going to be sleepy, right? So I usually will get up. I go to a track. It's one that I like that is by water, not too far from me. And one of the places I like to talk to God is by water. It's just something about it. And I would suggest that for anybody if you're looking for fresh ways to spend time with God, going by water or something like that. So I would go there. I'm out in the sun, the vitamin D, like just feeling good, and I'll just go for like a walk. And I'm just walking and praying. Like the first lap, I'm usually walking and praying. Then the second lap, I am just listening, silent. I'm not listening to anything in my AirPods. I'm just listening. And anything I hear, I write it down in a note section of my phone. I have a focus mode feature on my phone that I love because I can determine who can bypass the focus mode. And on do not disturb, you still get notifications, so you'll still see like you have a text message or you have a voicemail and stuff like that. But with focus mode, you don't see anything. You don't know if you have text messages or voicemails or anything like that. You see nothing. No, it doesn't. You don't know if you have emails, anything. So I turned my phone on focus mode and I named it Time with God. And the only people that can access me are my husband and then our nanny. So just in case anything happens and she needs to reach me before 12, she can. So her and my husband are the only people that can get through it. And so because of that, I could use freely my note app and like take notes on what I'm seeing or what I'm hearing from God and not have to worry about being interrupted or distracted. So I do that for the second lap. I'm just listening, writing down anything that I hear. For the third lap, I would do like worship. So these could vary. I might do lap 3 for one, but each lap I do something different. So I'll worship, just thanking God, just thanking God, just thanking God. And then for the last lap, it depends. You know what I mean? I might, if it's something that God is showing me that I really want to pray about, or if, you know, it's something I maybe had a dream about or whatever, then I might be doing like warfare prayers at that time where I'm really for the whole lap or whatever, looking crazy, but whatever, it's going to get done. So that's usually what that looks like: praying, listening, worshiping, praying. Another good thing is exercise. So my body's moving, my heart rate's getting up, and then I'm also kind of distracted in a sense to where my body's being occupied. And I feel like I don't know if this is scientifically backed, but I kind of feel like because my body is occupied via the walking, that it helps my mind be clear and I'm not like thinking too much either. I don't know if that's scientifically accurate, but I feel like that's what happens for me, is my mind is able to be more clear because I'm outside in the sun, I'm moving. And so that I guess it's because maybe those workout hormones, I don't know if it's dopamine or whatever, is being released, that is kind of giving me that mental clarity at that time. But that's what I do then. Then from there, after I'm done, I usually go home, and then that's when I'll open up the Bible, or if I'm working on a certain Bible study, I'll work through that. But that's when I will use my Bible and like read and study the word. Then from there, I have a prayer call. So myself and one of my friends, we started doing a prayer call every single day. So usually the last thing is we have our prayer call. And then once the prayer call is over, it's pushing 12 o'clock. And that's when I clock into work. So the morning is not me sitting in the closet for 4 hours. It's me spending time with God, but in different ways. And that has proven to be really, really refreshing for me. I really like it. So even now, he's released me to be able to go back to my usual working schedule, but I'm still going to wake up early, and I always will wake up early to work if necessary. But now I'm going to just start waking up early and going to the track and keeping that process up, because I was able to have so many downloads in my phone. Like, it's crazy from that time. So many things God was showing me, because I would be having dreams, and then during that walking time, I'm asking him about the dreams. As I'm walking, I'm seeing things, and he's really just sharpening different gifts of mine during this time, and I'm able to really just be put in that process that he needed me to be put into, so that he can just really mold me into who he's always saw, but just another level of who I am. And so it's been really, really amazing for me. What's interesting is that even my husband, so my friend and I's husbands, saw that we were praying every day. So now they have a prayer call every single day. It's later than ours, but now they're coming together and praying. And so it's just a beautiful thing to even see how my household is impacted by me going even deeper with God. My son, before he goes to sleep, he'll tell my husband, Bible, Bible, because he wants him to open the Bible up, because BJ reads Psalms to him at night. And it's just seeing how my household is even impacted by my own spiritual growth. How now my husband and I started doing Bible study together. We weren't doing that before. Like, he had his Bible study, this time with God. I had my time with God. And, you know, we're two God-fearing people together. But we never really sat down and did Bible studies together. And so that's something that we started doing during that time too. And it's allowing us to communicate and talk more about our understanding of the word, and really be able to pour into each other spiritually on a new level. And so I've just really been able to see, and even in my business ain't missed no beat, not working before 12, not at all. It not even a little bit. And so I'm just so grateful for that period of God just really working on me over the last few months. And he ain't done, but this period of not working till 12 may be done. But the lessons and the things that he showed me during that time are things that I'm now implementing moving forward. I've seen the results of them in my life, like I just explained, and I'm really excited about the next level that he has for me. So a lot of you guys on Instagram, when I had posted a typical day in my life, was like, girl, what? But it does take a lot, you know. And one of the things that I realized in the last couple of months is that, one, I believe that God is really building up my confidence too. I've always been a confident person, but I think these days, or just in general, we often equate humility to downplaying yourself. And I don't think that that's true. And so for me, like, somebody will give me a compliment. For a while, they'll give me a compliment. I'll be like, oh, thanks, not trying to hear that. Or, I'm uncomfortable, don't compliment me. Like, if any of y'all, those who have met me in person will know, like, you'll tell me, oh, this podcast has inspired me or whatever, or say something that's very nice. And I'll probably be like, oh, thanks, it's cool, and it's not that big of a deal. Like, that was just my demeanor. Like, I didn't want to, I don't know how to explain it, but I just didn't want to open my eyes to what God had did in me, or what he's done in me, and what he's continuing to do, and the impact that I've had, right? And so during this period though, the downside of that is you downplay what's necessary for you to truly be who God has called you to be. So what that looked like for me was, in order for me to operate at the level that God is calling me to operate, it takes a lot. And one thing that I was not doing was resting. So I recently took a week off. I ain't do nothing. I was laying in the bed, chilling, straight chilling. But I needed rest. And God even began to show me, because this came up during those laps. God began to show me, like, you need to take a period every single month where you are actively resting for at least a week. And I would get glimpses of it because I was so busy. I never did anything about it. But I would say things to my husband throughout the year, like, these little weekend trips ain't enough. Like, our life requires more than a weekend to recharge. But I would never do anything about it. But when God began to show me, no, I need you to prioritize actively resting. And once I did that, by just simply taking a week off, it wasn't anything like expensive or elaborate. I just turned my out of office on and watched TV for a week and like chilled. But I started to realize, like, whoa, in order for me to build this business to where it is and where it's going, in order for me to raise a healthy child that don't need therapy to overcome his childhood with me, in order for me to responsibly lead the people that God has called me to lead and have the impact that he's called me to have, like, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of structure. It takes a lot physically, because I'm taking care of my body. So I'm working out 4 or 5 days a week. My body's tired. My mind is tired. My voice is tired, because if I oversimplify what I do, I speak and think for a living. I think for my business. I think for other people's businesses all day. I speak often. My voice was like, girl, we're done. Wrap it up. But that happens often, right? My voice gets tired because I use it so much. So I'm spiritually drained because I have a dream or something like that at night, and I gotta wake up and go to war against what God showed me. Or somebody in my life calls and say, hey, we gotta pray about this. I'm hours out the day. And so it's so draining and tiring to be all of the things that God has called me to be, and to steward well over those things. And that's not to say that I don't want to do it or anything like that. That's just a fact. It's tiring. So in order to make sure that I'm equipped and I am being a good steward, it takes rest. But these are the things that God wasn't able to show me the way that he needed to, because I was doing too much. And so he was able to, and I'm so grateful that he got my attention and that I listened, because I told you guys I'm big on self-awareness. I'm going to pay attention to what's going on and reel myself back in if necessary. And so I'm glad that he reeled me back in and gave me instructions on what I needed to do in that season. And so that's what I've been doing, and I'm grateful for it. So that's why I was up at not even the crack of dawn, because the sun was not up yet. But that's why I was up, and what I did during those early mornings, and what that looked like. So that's it for this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss when I post another video.